What if I told you that in 1967, Land Rover built a camper so tough it could out-hike your uncle's hiking boots and still tuck you into bed at night? Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, when I first laid eyes on the 1967 Land Rover 109 Series 2A Dormobile, I thought, this thing looks like a British Bulldog that swallowed a cabin. And honestly, I believe that's exactly what makes it beautiful. 1 part rugged expedition rig, 1 part rolling cottage, and 100% guaranteed to make your neighbor's RV look like a sad tin can from a grocery store parking lot. Now, the specs on this beast. Under the hood, you've got a 2.25-liter inline-4 engine pushing out a factory-rated 77 horsepower and 124 pound-feet of torque. Doesn't sound like much until you realize it'll still crawl up a hill while your buddy's SUV overheats halfway. Power runs through a 4-speed manual gearbox with a dual-range transfer case. So yes, it'll happily plod across a muddy field or sneak into a festival campsite while everyone else gets stuck. Top speed? Let's just say the Jaeger speedometer proudly shows 75 miles per hour, 120 kilometers per hour. But I think the only time it reached that was rolling downhill with a strong tailwind. This Dormobile isn't just transportation, it's accommodation. You've got Doormatic seats that fold into sleeping surfaces, a stowable table for midnight card-ins, metal cabinets for hiding snacks from your friends, and even a 2-burner stove with a sink and water containers. Up top, the spring-assisted Dormobile pop-up roof hides 2 cot-style bunks, though one is torn, which I believe adds character. Honestly, it still feels cozier than my buddy Dave's apartment, and at least this one has curtains that match. On the outside, it's beige paint reapplied about a decade ago, a folding windshield, tow ball, and fender-mounted mirrors. The pop-up roof fabric has holes, the turn signals need some love, and rust is hanging around like that one neighbor who always borrows tools but never returns them. Still, with those 16-inch slotted steel wheels wrapped in 7.50/16 Cooper Super Traction Tread tires, it looks ready for safari or at least a muddy campground in Wisconsin. Now, let's talk price. This one recently sold for no reserve, but in today's market, I'd say a proper 109 Dormobile in this condition sits around $35,000 to $40,000, about 32,000 euros to 36,000 euros. Considering it comes with parts manuals, a clean Wisconsin title, and recent work like a new carburetor, clutch master cylinder, brake master cylinder, fuel pump, and spark plugs, that's a fair deal for a rolling slice of adventure history. I liked the most that even with rust, torn bunks, and a heater blower that isn't even connected, this truck still makes you smile. Because when you're cruising in a Dormobile, you're not just driving, you're telling the world you prefer life with a little grease under your nails and stories worth repeating around the campfire. And speaking of stories, if you laughed, nodded, or thought, "Man, I want one of these," there's a link under the video where you can become a sponsor of our channel for just $1. That's right, for less than the price of a gas station hot dog, you can keep me on the road before my buddy Steve spends the budget on fishing lures again. Sponsorship link is in the description.